When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt.
Most of us have brothers and sisters. Perhaps you're an older brother or you're a younger sister. MashaAllah, most of us come from big families and we have maybe 4 or 5 brothers and sisters. This is amazing, this is great. But what is our responsibility in our relationship between siblings supposed to be like in the light of the Quran and the Sunnah? What is our responsibility towards each other? Because we do see sometimes something develop called sibling rivalry. That's our topic for today. I like the topic. It was suggested by a good friend. I certainly hope you guys appreciate this episode and hope it's beneficial for you, especially those of you who have brothers and sisters, and also parents, of course, if you're watching as well. We want to talk about some things to in order to raise our children in a healthy way and prevent the development of this sibling rivalry. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Let's Talk, welcome to Huda TV. I certainly appreciate your viewership and your support as always of Huda TV. You guys know our information, our Facebook, please support us on that, emails and all that stuff. Anyways, that won't appear on your screen now, but I just want to throw that out there. I want to introduce my guest. He's actually the brand new host of Book Review. You might remember Book Review was a program where we had an author explain his book or any book in his respective field. But now we've really adjusted the program. We brought you a new look with the new host. We're really excited. He's a graduate of the AUC, that is the American University of Cairo. My good friend, Brother Muhammad Hamza. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Muhammad. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to Book Review, brother. How many episodes have you filmed?
Till now we filmed 3, alhamdulillah.
Okay, excellent, mashallah. And I have actually written a book, and I would hope to maybe perhaps you can host me, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
See how the guests, I invited myself, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brother Muhammad, for being here. You guys, studio audience, assalamu alaikum to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I want you guys, inshallah, to tell me your name, where you're from, and tell me, do you have a big brother or a little sister or what? Go ahead, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
My name is Ahmed. I'm from Fayoum.
MashaAllah, brother, I have a lot of friends from Fayoum. I love Fayoum, so I got to shout that out there. What part of Fayoum exactly?
I'm from a village.
A village in Fayoum. What is Fayoum famous for?
What?
What is Fayoum famous for?
Fayoum is famous for the chickens, first of all.
And good
the water wheels, Wadi Rayyan. A lot of good things, but it's very beautiful, by the way.
By the way, Wadi Rayyan is very beautiful. I saw it online. I haven't visited, but it's really amazing, I heard. It's a natural waterfall, oasis, something like this, right? Yeah, so, okay, great.
Okay.
So, brother, do you have brothers and sisters, or?
Yes, I have 1 sister and 3 brothers.
Oh, mashallah, so that's 5, big family. Where do you fall in the age group? Are you in the middle? Are you the first? Are you the baby?
I'm the middle.
You're in the middle, okay.
Yes, two brothers, 1 brother and a sister before me, and 2 younger sister.
Than you.
Yeah, younger brothers after me, yeah.
How would you characterize your relationship? Do you feel like, I mean, you guys love each other and you have a good, close relationship?
Of course, there is a kind of warmth there in my family. Yeah, we love each other very much, and we have been with each other. We didn't leave each other up till now.
MashaAllah.
And also, I just want to say that we lived in another country, in a foreign country, Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
I was born there, by the way,
MashaAllah.
and my younger brothers. But you know, being in a foreign country makes your parents feel a kind of being afraid that you may be hurt or maybe in danger when you are away from them.
Right.
So they want us all the time to be before their eyes.
Right.
Yeah. That's because of being in a foreign country. So there in Saudi Arabia and also here, we didn't leave each other.
MashaAllah.
And my elder brother, he works beside, he's a teacher beside the house, and my elder sister, she's married in the same village, and
MashaAllah.
And all the time when her husband is away, because he works in another governorate, when he's away, she comes to be with her mother, helping her and to be with us.
Do you feel like your parents really tried extra hard to make sure that some of the kids didn't feel more special, more loved than the other kids? They tried really hard to treat every kid fairly?
to some extent.
It's important, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we should ask him, what does Saudi Arabia have to do with this? Like, is it because you were living outside that
It makes
that this warmth happened
By the way,
together?
Saudi Arabia, I came here, I just spent my first year of the primary stage there. And
Return to
when
Egypt.
I came here, yes, the second year was
But
here.
is it because you were living over there that you got in touch with your brothers and sisters and you became close together?
It helped you in being in
It
a foreign
helped you.
country.
It helped you?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course, because
Yes.
you're in a foreign land, it draws you
Yeah,
together. Excellent
yeah,
point.
that's
But by the
true.
way, you know, since I think you live in KSA, I believe, Brother Muhammad, and
Yeah.
you as well. You got, I speak a little Saudi. Hala wallah. And Aishlunik.
Yeah,
You know, you guys understand these words?
He
Yeah.
already finished Egyptian languages, now he's talking in Saudi.
So now, I mastered Egyptian dialect, now moving to Saudi. Barakallahu feek.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
By the way, the Saudi accent is in my elder brother. Yes,
Well,
he
that's
knows how
fun.
to speak Saudi very well.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I certainly appreciate it. Perhaps we could pass the mic to this brother right here. Go ahead, brother.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam.
My name is Omar. I'm from Egypt.
MashaAllah, brother. Omar, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Not many.
How many?
6.
You have 6. Oh, so you're
That's
the
not
7th
bad.
or you're one of
Mashallah.
6?
The 7th.
You're the 7th,
That's a lot.
MashaAllah. Brothers and sisters?
Yep.
That's a lot,
That's
isn't
a
it?
lot, yeah.
MashaAllah. So where do you fall, in the middle or the end?
The young.
Okay, you're the baby?
Yep.
Oh, you're the last one. We're going to talk about being the baby too. That's interesting, different psychology, right?
Yeah.
So, but do you have any other brothers or sisters with you, or brothers in the studio audience with you?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Here,
All
my
right,
brother.
MashaAllah. You pass the mic to your brother, MashaAllah. All right, so this is your older brother or younger brother?
I'm older than him, but younger at heart.
MashaAllah.
I'm
very
Nadir
good.
from Egypt also. I'm his
MashaAllah.
brother, and also Abdurrahman is our brother here.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
So you guys are
I'm
7.
younger. I'm older than him, but you know, I look younger. Yeah, I'm more handsome.
MashaAllah. So do you feel
Yeah.
like growing up, you guys have a healthy, loving relationship, or was there a lot of sibling rivalry?
No, alhamdulillah, you know, even sibling rivalry, sometimes it's not so bad, you know. Also, with each other, we have some arguments, we have something,
Right.
but it's so, it's a, you know, it's a very live, you know, it's a very lovely thing, you know.
Right. It's competition. It can be
yeah.
healthy.
It's be healthy, but not very bad competition, you know, not in a bad way, not in bad rivalry, you know.
Right.
You know, still have the love between us, still want the best for each other, and still in touch with each other. And I agree with my brother Eliel that living outside is something to get the family to stick together more.
Right,
Because
right.
also we were in KSA, and yeah, we stick more together. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. MashaAllah. Okay, excellent point.
Alhamdulillah.
But did you guys fight a lot growing up? I heard brothers always fight. I don't have a brother.
Yeah. To some extent, yeah, we we have some fight.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, Brother Nabil from Egypt. Thank you so much. Perhaps we can get the brother in the back as well.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I am Muhammad from Egypt.
MashaAllah. Go ahead, brother.
Uh,
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two.
2 sisters or 2
but,
brothers?
No. One sister, one brother.
Oh, okay. Are you in the middle or are you the oldest or are you the baby?
No, I'm the elder.
Oh, so
They are
that
not-
plays a different role. You feel like kind of like a second father to them, and you like look after them,
Yes.
you raise them up.
Yes.
Yeah, subhanAllah. That puts a lot of responsibility on your shoulder.
Yes, especially
With the sister.
for me as a Muslim, you should take care of your family as
Yeah,
much
of
you
course.
take care of yourself.
But do you feel like extra protection over your sister?
Sometimes, but I'm trying to be like her friend. So
Right.
everything, I think, it's going very well, I think.
Excellent. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Certainly appreciate it.
My name is Abdurrahman.
Assalamu
I am
alaikum.
from Egypt, and I have 6 brothers. This 2 from them.
Next time, bring the other 4 or 3. Bring the other 3 for the next. You guys, the whole studio audience will be you guys. Barakallahu feek. Brother Abdurrahman, are you the oldest, the youngest? You're
I am the middle.
right in the middle, mashallah. Very good. Growing up, I mean, you guys must have shared everything: clothes,
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah. Especially first save us, we share everything.
Yeah. The second.
The second 3 brothers, they share that with each other.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the causes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one of the causes.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, excellent point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a
So-
cause of love and friendship, and, brother, and
I think
also.
because of our rivalry between siblings.
Yeah. This can be so. It can be negative and positive
Yep.
in that regard. Yeah, and we'll talk about that. We'll take your feedback about that. I know from a parent's perspective, when you have children of the same gender, you go, okay, we can use the same clothes and same toys, but perhaps it develops like something among the kids.
Yeah.
Which-
It causes. It's one of the causes actually of rivalry between siblings.
Okay.
That sharing everything and not giving everyone his own
Stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a Facebook report. Before you go to it, I want to take this last brother's comments and name real quick. Alaikum salam, Habib. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have only a little brother.
Okay.
About 2 years.
Oh,
2
mashallah,
years
okay.
old.
So you probably feel like your second dad, like protective over him and...
I feel like I'm his father, I'm his dad.
Yeah, mashallah.
Yes.
So it puts some responsibility on your shoulders, so subhanAllah. Do you feel, I want to talk to you a little bit more in the episode. How do you feel about having a little brother? Do you feel happiness? Do you feel sometimes jealousy? Or what goes through your heart and your mind?
No, as I told you, I feel like I'm his father. I should care of him. I should
Take care of him, right?
take care of him and give him all what he thought about toys, cans.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, brother. I certainly appreciate it. You guys, Brother Muhammad, we're going to watch a Facebook video, and we posted this question on Facebook, and let's see what the guys at home have to say. You guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk. I'm Breem Fatima. I wish I had siblings. Abdul Hafiz Muhammad Danjuma Yusuf. It's highly competitive when parents kind of show preference. Siblings become very jealous because certainly some are favored, which in turn leads to enmity and hatred between siblings. Khalida bint Saifullah. Favoritism kindles the fire of rivalry and jealousy between siblings. Malam Irobala. Assalamu alaikum. Parents are the ones that contribute to whatever disharmony is among siblings. Mostly, they tend to favor some at the expense of others, and they will be doing it so openly that the remaining children have to bear with the situation. Bint Libya. It's not always a matter of favoritism. Being friends depends on the mutual interests and way of thinking. Dils Mubarak. Yes, jealousy and hatred is the main topic, especially when one gets better resources than the other. But to a large extent, hatred thrives from someone's personal choice of attitude. Abu Bakr Sadiq Dunoma. There should be equity and trust. Alright, you guys, we certainly appreciate you guys staying tuned to Other TV, and I certainly hope you enjoyed that Facebook report. Always support us on Facebook. We put the questions up there to take your comments and feedback. Brother Muhammad, we had some interesting comments there about sibling rivalry, as well as some interesting comments from the studio audience. Yeah. What do you think?
I wanted to ask the brothers back there, if you six share property, and doesn't this cause...
Seven. I'm sorry, there's seven, aren't they?
Yeah, there's seven, mashallah.
Yeah.
You guys, doesn't this cause sharing property? Isn't one of the causes of problems between you?
Like, does jealousy come up? You know, because
jealousy.
Yeah. On the young age, for the young age, for a little kid, maybe it's something like that, but not all the time, because when you grow up, you see yourself, sharing with each other, having the knowing the meaning of sharing.
But I think if you don't have your own property, this is one of the big causes of rivalry between you guys.
Yeah.
Isn't it true? To some extent?
To some extent.
It's one of the main reasons that causes sibling rivalry.
Yeah, it's to some extent, but it goes back to the fathers and mother. If they build up, put some.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah,
it's the father and mother.
What they are, when you give to your brother, help your brother with this one.
Yeah.
Not just give it to him.
Yeah.
Help your brother with this one. So he help you out with this one. Yeah. I have some instant one. Once when I was a kid.
That's a very important point, because I was discussing with you, Brother Malik, that the parents do a very big role in this, in fixing it and in doing it between their children. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I have some instant when I was young. My older brother got a measles. It's not very good thing,
Yeah.
But I saw, why he has this rash on his face? I want some too. Next day, alhamdulillah, Allah gave me to me. I got measles also. So it's rivalry.
And
but
don't you think the parents explaining to their children, I gave him this because of that, and I'm going to give you, I reward you some other time. I think this is a
yes,
a
this is
very
very
good
important, you
solution
know,
to this problem.
emotional support, you know, putting some ideas, why we are sharing together, why we are sticking together. That's an important thing, not just give it to him like this, you know.
Brother, I believe this is a concept. I don't want to say it's a Western concept. I'm sure it's everywhere, I'm sure. This idea, this is mine, I want this. It creates like a spoiled child. Whereas when you have a big family with many brothers, there's like a source of barakah, as we talked about in the previous episode, right?
Yeah.
Where you learn to share and love each other and value each other.
It has to be like judged and managed by the parents. The parents do a great job in this.
Right.
They have to manage this between their children and explain, because being possessive, this is in everyone.
Yeah.
So they have to just like teach their children to share, as well as put in mind that possessing things and being happy to have your own stuff, this is...
it's a superficial, shallow way of doing things, isn't it? Yeah.
So they have to be like managing this between their children and making it easier for them to overcome it.
Okay, inshallah, excellent point. We're going to talk more after we come back from this short break. We have a special guest coming up in the next segment, so stay tuned.
Have spilled over onto the
escalated into violent clashes between police and protesters
over the government's plan to avoid default.
And we're also hearing of injuries on both.
Journalist Charlie McGrath says the cuts will heap further suffering on ordinary people.
For decades, but the fence needs some
This is a serious and big storm.
Join me as I explore pressing issues facing the Muslim world today. From the one-sided civil war in Syria to the genocide in Burma, from the Arab Spring to the elections in the US, and yes, even the Euro debt crisis in Greece. Honest reporting on a channel you can trust, and I won't leave an issue untouched. Don't miss the Ummah Tonight with me, Malik, on your favorite channel for the TV. Welcome back to Let's Talk. We're talking about sibling rivalry. We have a special guest based here in the Middle East, originally from London, England, the UK, a revert to Islam as well. Idris Abdul Haq. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Idris.
Shukran. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for being with us. And Brother Muhammad, thank you for staying with us as well. And you guys in the studio audience, thank you so much. Brother Idris, of course, you're a revert to Islam?
Yes.
Okay, so you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do, yes. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, great. How many?
I have one full blood related brother. He's my twin.
Uh-huh.
His name is Jibril.
Okay, great.
I have a younger brother. His name is Ezra.
Okay.
Older brother from my mum, and then sister from my mother as well.
Okay, great. So after accepting Islam, what did that do to your siblings?
It did a lot. You know, before Islam, I shared a womb with my brother. We're twins. We were competing before we even walked to the earth. You know, he was taking more food in the womb than I was, and I didn't feel badly about this. It's not a problem, but you have a lot of rivalry and competition amongst one another because you're the same age, you look the same, people recognize you, and they recognize the same people.
But is it a healthy competition?
Sometimes.
Right, sometimes it's not.
Not always, yani. Sometimes it can
And don't
cause
you think the
problems.
parents do a job in fixing it or making it even more?
I think that they do, and I think that sometimes I wish that my father would have implemented more kind of knowledge regarding how we should love one another more. We didn't really have that so much growing up. It was just me and my brother, and we were just together, and that was it. Yani, there was no kind of really emphasis on bringing in this kind of like bondage and love amongst one another.
Right.
Whenever
the parents.
Yeah, mashallah.
I mean, yes, the parents play a vital role, but obviously, I mean, as human beings, we should have this natural love for one another. But yes, the parents do play a great role. I remember you was talking about clothing and about siblings
sharing clothes and
having their
toys,
own
this sort
things.
of thing. Yeah.
When me and my brother were growing up, we used to have our own stuff. We would have our own clothes. So there was never any kind of wars regarding this is mine and no, this is yours. So we had our own things, but we would.
But don't you think sharing will cause this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so, but
that's a credit to your parents. I mean, it costs a lot to raise kids, man. And especially when you have two kids of the same gender, you say, okay, you know, let's let the boys wear the same things. But that's a credit to your parents. Mashallah, they spent and they worked hard to provide you guys equally. So that's great.
Yeah, my father worked very, very hard for me and my brother.
Mashallah. So, brother, now having said that, you know, you're growing up, you guys aren't Muslim, and you accept Islam.
Yes.
So what are your siblings? They're looking at you saying, what did our brother do? It's a very strange thing.
Well, you know, I'm from London, and we live a city life. I mean, my mother and father weren't married, so there wasn't any kind of real bondage there even. So I had family here, family there, but we'd never really see one another so often. So we didn't play much of a role in one another's lives. And when I accepted Islam, I didn't receive so much resistance from them, especially my brother, who has accepted Islam, alhamdulillah. He was quite supportive of me, and my sister as well. And
although they weren't Muslims, but they were supportive.
Yeah, they wasn't Muslims, but they wasn't aggressive towards me. They was never so rude. We did have our moments.
Rough, naturally, right?
Yeah, I feel when you hear of other people that have accepted Islam and the kind of reception they receive from their family, you know, I consider myself very fortunate because my family were not so bad with me, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, great. That's a wonderful, excellent point. I just thought that was really interesting. You know, you said your brother's name was Jibreel, so at some point he accepted Islam.
Yes, his name is Jibreel now.
Okay, so after you accepted Islam, this influenced them to accept Islam also?
Inshallah, I hope so. Obviously, I would try to call them to Islam. When you're new into the religion, you're a revert as well?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It's been 5-6 years now, by the grace of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Myself, it's been 2 years and 6 months.
Oh, great.
Yes.
And Brother Muhammad, your name was Peter last year, and then you became Muslim. Brother Muhammad was born Muslim.
Alhamdulillah, I was born Muslim.
Alhamdulillah, this is a great honor as well.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
It's a great blessing from Allah.
Yeah, of course, yeah, certainly. I know everybody talks about, oh, that's great, you revert to Islam, it's a blessing. Of course it's a blessing, but also Allah honored the people born Muslim as well with a great honor. So brother, 2 years, 6 months.
Thankful.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't.
But alhamdulillah, a lot of them are.
Yeah, before, I remember there was a time, I'll never forget this time because we'd had an argument at my mother's house, and I was trying to give them dawah, and you know, when they don't ask you questions about the religion, you have to instigate the conversation, and this can cause problems.
Yeah, right.
So you're like, why don't you ask me something so I can tell you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you
to
ask. I'm dying for you to ask.
Exactly, but sometimes they won't ask, and you know, you're very emotional and you're very enthusiastic when you enter the deen because you know with a certainty in your heart that this is the haqq. I found the truth, and it's like, you know, when somebody tells you you're lying, but you know without a doubt that you've spoken the truth.
Yeah,
and you have this, I know, I'm serious, I'm telling the truth. It's like this kind of emotion. So look, I remember I was speaking to my brother on the phone once, and I said to him, I said, the day that I meet you, and I never mention Allah, is a day that I've kind of lost hope in you, you know? Every time I see you, I have to mention something about Allah. I have to invite you to Islam.
Because you still love Him. You love Him.
Yes, I do. And that love has increased a lot more now that we've both become Muslims.
MashaAllah. So he became Muslim right after you or sometime?
He became Muslim maybe 6 months after I did.
Oh, great. That's amazing, yeah.
But do you guys still have problems together? Because
no, but you know what? I have to be perfectly honest with you. We don't have any problems.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, before Islam, we had many. We had lots of issues, but now it's, you know, we used to curse one another a lot. We would always make fun of one another, always speaking very badly, fighting. We'd fight a lot. But now, because Allah Azza wa Jalla and His Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam has forbidden the cursing of one another and is forbidden to be this kind of way, this manifesto, we don't have that anymore. Islam is cleansed us and in a sense nearly perfected our relationship. We still have a lot of work to do. Sometimes I speak to him on Skype, and you know, there needs to be this kind of breakdown more of sharing with one another.
Right.
Because when you're a twin, you're very afraid to kind of reveal your weaknesses to your brother. You know, he can play on that. So now I remember I was speaking to him the other day about marriage, and I was talking about my personal stance, and I was sharing with him, you know, my real emotions regarding this issue, and I was opening up to him, and it was very nice, mashallah.
SubhanAllah, excellent point. Thank you for sharing that. Brother Elias from London. Brother Muhammad, go ahead.
I think this is one of the basic and main solutions to the rivalry between siblings, is conversation, opening up, and talking and discussing what one feels and opening up with your brother or sister.
What about seeking advice, brother? You had mentioned that in the break.
Yeah, I think that, before Islam, I rarely ever go to my brother for advice about anything. But now that, I have some months of experience in Islam and he's practicing the religion as well, it gives me an opportunity for him, not only for me to advise him, but for him to come to me seeking advice as well. Sometimes, like the other day, he wanted to know how to read the istikhara correctly. Because I'm here in Egypt and I'm studying the language, we were speaking over the phone and we was reading istikhara, and we read Quran to one another as well.
Beautiful.
We have a very beautiful relationship now, alhamdulillah.
So you can say it's like your brotherhood has reached like an all new level of richness and beauty and appreciation.
Oh yes, both of us.
Our because they have something in common.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I feel like that too with my family also. Even though they're not Muslim, I still appreciate and love them more than before.
And that's what the parents have to do to avoid this, to make their children together in common activities and teach their children to express themselves to one another and express their feelings, and bringing them together in sports or
activities.
Yeah.
What about revealing weaknesses to your twin brother? Are you like too proud of macho to do that, or you reveal it before Islam? I mean,
even as Muslims, we don't reveal our weaknesses so much, but not so much weaknesses, but issues, sensitivities. Maybe issues you're facing. You would go to your brother, you would reveal that issue to him, and you would kind of try to seek some kind of counseling from your brother, which is very nice,
mashallah. I want to go to the audience, you guys. All these things we're talking about, you guys are 7. Do you guys do this stuff? Do you guys communicate with each other? Do you tell each other how you're feeling? Do you open up to each other? Do you have this kind of like really close relationship that with each other?
Yeah, I like to say so, It's really, to some extent, we can share with each other, not just closing, secrets, maybe issues, maybe ideas. We can come to each other to ask for help.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, are you shy to ask your brother for help?
Not all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, not all the time. Because, growing up together, it's like having your fingers, you can't cut one and another.
Together, yeah.
Yeah. So, when I need help, so who's else I'm going to ask, Of course, we ask Allah. But to turn to our brother, he's returned to me.
Yeah, it's like the first resort, of course. Yeah, excellent point. How many of you guys in the studio audience are parents? Okay, you're a parent. Okay, I just want to let you, I want to gauge that. I will get back to you about this. And I believe, Brother Muhammad, you're a parent.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I am too, by the grace of Allah. And you?
Ana azab.
Well, perhaps we could speak about, Brother Muhammad, a little bit about parenting techniques that you use in order to create a healthy environment for your children.
Just like I said a while ago, trying to teach them that being good with one another is actually something part of our religion, and you'll get a reward from Allah for this. I talk to them about this a lot. I also try to make them equal in the way I'm dealing with, or their mother is dealing with them. Whenever we give somebody even a kiss, you just give all her sisters or her brother a kiss as well. This is a very important point. Also, whenever any of them tries to take the right of his sister or her sister, in my case, we try to avoid that and stop him very firmly, and don't give him the chance to take the right of her sister, or in the case of my son, of his sister. I have, alhamdulillah, one son and 2 daughters, alhamdulillah, and a young baby, alhamdulillah, as well. But in the case of the 2 sisters, they're very close because of this, alhamdulillah. And in the case of my son, he's always picking on them, but we're just trying to fix this by punishing him and stopping him from being bad with his young sisters.
And being older has an effect too, being the older one.
No, he feels like they're getting they're 2 sisters together, and he's just on his own. That's maybe the reason for it.
Yeah, that's
but we try to fix it by making him feel that they're your sisters, and you should be nice to them, and this is Allah obliged you to do this, and keeping him in touch with religion. This is a very important way of avoiding sibling rivalry.
Excellent point. Thank you so much. We have a minute left before the break. I want to go to Abdul Rahman. I want to ask you a question, brother. Do you have children? Do you have more than one child?
I have one daughter.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, excellent. How old is she?
6 months.
Okay. You know, my question was, when you buy a toy for one child, do you always buy a toy for the second child? But right now you only have one. Inshallah, you have another. Let me go back to Muhammad for 30 seconds real quick. When you buy a toy for one child,
you have to buy the others as well.
You always have to buy the others as well.
You have to.
Because
or else you create the rivalry between the
okay, excellent point.
Jealousy.
Yeah, of course.
And this can grow with them. And it will cause a lot of
hardships, headache.
Yeah, hardships to them that you can't even think of.
Okay, you guys, we're going to take a short break. We have more from Ilyas Abdul Haq, Muhammad Hamza, the new host of Book Review, our studio audience, and of course we have a funny clip coming up from Brother Nouman Ali Khan. You guys don't want to miss it, so stay tuned.
Islamic Jeopardy.
Audience, viewers, are you guys ready for another round of Islamic Jeopardy? All right, let's go ahead and begin.
It's Islamic Jeopardy, the spirit of contributions for the sake of Allah, the exciting yet informative. It is Islamic Jeopardy. Join us on Islamic Jeopardy, the quiz show featuring trivia in fiqh, aqidah, history, poetry, riddles, science, Arabic, and other topics. When you love. The awaited halal fun is finally here.
Praise Him every day. Be to my Lord Allah. Praise Him every day.
We're back at Let's Talk. Thank you guys for staying tuned to Let's Talk and always for your support at Hooded TV. Brother Ilyas, all the way from London, from the UK. Of course, you have siblings and that you had a positive effect on them by the grace of Allah. And your brother Jibreel has accepted Islam. And we were talking about previously how that really has strengthened your relationship between you guys. What about your other siblings? Are they thinking about accepting Islam as well, or they have or have not?
Alhamdulillah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My sister accepted Islam, alhamdulillah.
Wonderful.
She's a lot older than I am, and she's been a Muslim for maybe 2 months now.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, she accepted Islam. Very happy about that.
Jibreel.
After Jibreel.
Okay.
My mother as well. My mother accepted Islam. Alhamdulillah, she's been Muslim for 2 years as well. But with my sister, we never really experienced any kind of rivalry with one another growing up. She was so much older than us.
Right.
She was kind of like a help when I was growing up. When I get kicked out from my dad's house, sometimes I go and live with my sister.
Like second mom.
Yeah, really, I have to praise Allah Azza wa Jalla. I come from a very supportive family, and I love them, and I'm grateful and thankful to Allah Azza wa Jalla for them. Like I said, my sisters I never had any rivalry with my sister.
You know, I have two sisters, and I never had a rivalry with them as well. But I know this is it's an interesting issue, so that's why we wanted to address it. You guys, I want you to check out this clip from Nouman Ali Khan, who's a young Muslim public speaker in the States. You guys at home, check it out and stay tuned.
Siblings have to have a lot of love for each other. And it's amazing, some things Allah put inside of us. You'll be beating each other to death at home. Like, you two guys are just pounding each other. And then you go to school and somebody says something about your little brother. You go, hey, what you say about my brother? It's my brother. I got to punch him in the face. You don't even, you don't talk about my brother like that. You're so protective of him on the outside. It's time to start being protective of your siblings inside the home too. They have to be your best friends. Fighting's gonna happen. It's inevitable. But jealousy should never be there. A little bit of a quarrel here and there, that's a natural part of growing up. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't say there's anything wrong with it, But there has to be a healthy atmosphere. A lot of you parents are worried because you're noticing your siblings, that all they do when they talk is they fight. Every time they interact, they're upset with each other, And they don't want the other to be around. And with girls, it's even more complicated. It's really complicated with girls. My girls will tell me, Abba, she looked at me. Okay, calm down, calm. Hey, don't look at her. I wasn't looking at her. So complicated. She always says I'm looking at her. You know? But to some level, this is natural. But at another level, you know what happens? Mom loves her more. Mom loves him more. Dad always praises him and always puts me down. My failures are a result of the love I don't get.
That was a nice clip talking about being protective over your brothers and sisters, for that matter. Brother Nabil, I know that you're the oldest, I believe, of 7. So, you're not but you're one of 7. So I'm
the second.
The second, okay.
The second.
But you're the youngest in heart. So growing up, I mean, did you like beat up and fight with your brothers? But then when you go into public, you're very protective over them.
Yeah, of course.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're always beating each other up and running around the house and that sort of thing.
Abdurrahman is the one after me. You know, we have a lot of time. Yeah. And also with the one bigger than me, older than me. He was not just older; he was older and bigger. You know, every time I just talk to him, calm down.
But look at Brother Omar. He's a baby. He's so nice, and he didn't involve. He was a good boy, huh?
Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah,
yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, what about another problem that you mentioned, brother, was if you would like to mention now is inheritance. This can create a problem between siblings.
Yeah.
But by the grace of Allah, Allah has given us an Islamic system where this is clearly taken care of, isn't it?
Yeah, but unfortunately, not everyone are very clear.
Subhanallah. What about now, brother, if we can move to a positive note, let's talk about it, for example, brother, Islam uniting people, uniting brothers and siblings. What do you think, brother?
I think that, having jealousy and envy is one of the main causes which puts a block and a barrier between loving. Envy, like he was mentioning about one, he has my property, it's mine, I want it more. It builds barriers.
Right.
So, I believe the Prophet ﷺ, he said like this, and I only know it in English, but he said that you are only allowed to be envious of 2 types of people. One who Allah Azza wa Jal has given knowledge of the Quran, and he teaches it to others. And another is one who Allah Azza wa Jal bestows lots of rizq and wealth, and he spends it in the path of Allah. So I have no reason to be envious of my brother because he doesn't know so much Quran yet, and he hasn't got so much wealth. But this is what
Islam teaches us is that you wish him the best. You wish him the best. That's better. Like you shouldn't look at it this way. You should look at it. I'm wishing my brother the best, and I will take the word for this feeling from Allah.
Yes, and also it stipulates barriers. It puts barriers. You can't envy your brother for any reason other than this. You can't speak badly towards your brother because then you're disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal.
And also internally, you should wish him the best, and you should feel towards him that you're wishing for him better than even for yourself, because you're getting the reward from Allah.
Definitely. I think that this is another thing as well. I feel has come into myself and my brother's life.
These are all solutions, like teaching. Sorry, brother. Teaching your children from their early stages to treat their siblings or their brothers and sisters with a religious perspective. Right. This is very important. This helps them in all the turns and all the stages of their lives together. Even if the parents afterwards die, they will stay together, because any time the devil comes between them, they will remember that, and they will be, inshallah, this will be a very strong way of fixing things together.
And Brother Muhammad, you mentioned during the break as this brotherhood or happiness between siblings as a source of barakah. So having a twin brother that accepted Islam is a great blessing from Allah, that Allah has given you a brother and a Muslim brother. I mean, it's something very special. I think you can count it amongst the wealth that Allah has bestowed on you.
It is so much. I mean, I'm a twin, and we've been together forever.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We've spent so much. We've done so many things, and even before Islam, and we experienced so much with one another. Now that he's a Muslim, it's a great relief.
Yeah,
it's a relief, a feeling of relief and joy, and like you said, being happy. I'm so happy for my brother that Allah Azza wa Jal has given him what He's given me.
Yeah,
and I'm happy for this, and Alhamdulillah, my brother taught me a dua. And I was very, this was emotional for me because my brother's teaching me a dua is Ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit qalbi ala dinik. And to know that my brother says this dua to keep him steadfast in the religion makes me feel safe, it makes me feel happy, and honestly, all praise belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal, that He's given us Islam and He's given us siblings, because this is a rahmah from Allah Azza wa Jal, this love and this willingness to share and this willingness, and yes, the fighting, but you know, going back to that point, I remember when me and my brother would fight, we'd never ever go for the face. We'd rarely ever go to attack one another in the face.
Right.
You know, this is from rahmah, this is from mercy. It was always wrestling or, you know,
punching a guy in the chest.
But never, you would never go, I'd never feel comfortable to strike my brother in the face ever.
Right.
And this is from rahmah from Allah, and alhamdulillah ala ni'matil Islam wa kafa biha ni'mah.
Inshallah. Because when you think about a brother from a scientific and spiritual perspective, the idea, like you said, that you were twins, and you grew up together, and you've been together since the very beginning, and now you became Muslim and your brother became Muslim, it's a very beautiful story, mashallah.
Barakallahu feek.
Barakallahu feekum. And of course I have two sisters, they're not Muslim. I hope and I ask Allah to guide them to Islam as well. Because you have a special relationship with the brothers and sisters as well. You guys have a bunch of brothers. Does anybody have a sister? Oh yeah, okay, the brother in the back has a sister as well. And this is a great blessing from Allah, isn't it too? The relationship that a brother and a sister have is very unique. And I know we talk a lot about brothers, but that relationship is special too. I mean, I have two sisters, and it's a special and interesting bond. Perhaps you can speak a little bit about your relationship with your sister and how is it a blessing for you.
Yes, of course, but sometimes it's become so hard, especially when she's younger than me, and she is a teenager.
Yeah, tough years.
Yes, so for me it's a little bit hard, but I mean, I'm doing my best.
Yeah, may Allah help you. And you know, once you get those teenage years are tough. Go ahead.
And that's one of also the reasons. Like every one of the siblings, a brother or a sister or two brothers together, thinks that his point of view is right and his brother's is wrong. Teaching also your children from their early stages that your point of view could be true and could be wrong as well, and you should respect others even if you don't agree with them on their point of view. Teaching this in your children and since their early stages help them afterwards to avoid sibling rivalry.
And you know, we did see the program Brother Nadir from the United States called Outstanding Muslim Parents, and you can check him out online at outstandingmuslimparents.com, I believe, and his program is airing on Huda TV. You can see it on YouTube. It was really interesting. He was giving us parenting techniques from the Islamic perspective, so I think it's beneficial, for all parents. But Brother Muhammad, you are also, we're speaking about your role as a parent, you also have siblings.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, and you're the oldest, the youngest, or in the middle?
No, I'm the oldest.
Okay, mashallah. So you can learn what, and you know, this isn't about us personally, it's about the general topic, but what you learned growing up, you've applied as a parent, I imagine, as well.
As a parent and as a brother as well, alhamdulillah. I do my best.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And subhanAllah, Brother Elias, I have one son, 2 years old, and he's at the stage now where he wants everything to be his. So I think, by the grace of Allah, if Allah blessed me with another child, it would be something very good in order to teach him this concept of sharing. I mean, do you guys think that you're better sharers, you're less, you have less what's the word I'm looking for? You're less self-centered than other people. Perhaps you have a friend or something who's an only child, and you guys have 6 brothers. I mean, do you feel more of a sharing type of person?
I think I like Omar to answer this one.
What do you think, Brother Omar?
Well, we share everything, anything you can say.
Yeah.
Clothes,
technology, phones, everything.
Toys when we were young.
Yeah.
Everything.
MashaAllah. I think it's a great thing. It's a great source.
But do you think this is something good? If it's in everything? Or you think it's better to share some things and other things should be yours?
There are things that should be yours.
You think that's better?
That's better.
That's
better.
What about when your brother or sister, you know, a good friend of mine asked me this, what would you do when your brother and sister does something wrong? How do you advise them? That's tough, right?
Well, it depends on older or younger.
If you're bigger, you beat them up, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But how about, for example, when your brother Nabil, for example, when your younger brother Omar does something wrong, how do you advise him?
Yeah, it depends on the situation, what he did, you know.
Right.
Something, if he does some little thing, you know, maybe we talk to each other.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't accept my point of view, I can punch him.
Go ahead.
No, of course, no. I'm just joking.
Okay, excellent point. The brother in the back, go ahead.
But sometimes, for me, sometimes I can't I tell my father, our mother to tell him, or sometimes I tell his or her friends. Sometimes they become better than me, and I do this a lot.
Because depending on the circumstances. But why do you do that then? Why is that more effective?
Sometimes he will not accept it from me. Because you're sometimes.
So you use a little bit of wisdom there. You see, okay, I don't think he'll listen for me, so I'll talk to mom or dad about it.
Yes, sometimes.
Or his friends or her friends. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent point. Thank you guys. I think we have about a minute left. If you guys want to wrap up your final thoughts, starting with Muhammad and Brother Elias about sibling rivalry, feel free.
Well, as we said, it's the parents. The parents do a very big role in the early stages of their children. Actually, in the first 8 years of the child's life, he learns about maybe 90% of all things that he goes on for the rest of his life. So these years, the parent should be doing a great job in bringing up his child. And if he brings the first one, the others learn from him or her.
Right.
Okay. So I think the relationship with their brothers or sisters is taught by the parents.
Yes,
it's taught by the parents.
So
that's to sum up the...
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to the new episodes of Book Review.
Inshallah.
And if you don't mind, I just by the grace of Allah, wrote a
We'll
book.
interview you, inshallah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Your book.
Between
What's it
Two
called,
Worlds.
by the way?
Thank you for asking, brother. Between Two Worlds. Inshallah, we'll talk about it.
It's very interesting.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Brother Elias, maybe in a minute or so, if you can wrap up your thoughts about this topic of sibling rivalry.
Okay, now?
Yeah, inshallah.
Okay, well, I think that it's an interesting topic. People ask me, well, why was I going on the show for? When I told them sibling rivalry, they were very surprised. And it's a topic that I feel should be challenged, and I feel it should be approached and not overlooked. There's a lot of issues regarding, how close we are as brothers generally. At least we should really focus on the issues in the home first. So I think that it's a very important topic, and I'm really glad that I had the chance to be on the show today and to discuss, how Islam united me and my brother, so that other people that see it can reflect upon this and inshallah, come together, inshallah.
Thank you, brother, so much. I certainly appreciate your time. You're very eloquent. I hope to have you back on the program or any program, or have your own program on Huda TV soon. Was this your first time here with us?
It's my second time,
okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, great. I look forward to having you again, inshallah.
Barakallahu feek.
Barakallahu feek. Thank you so much.
Shukran.
You guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry I never involved you guys enough. I talk too much. But thank you for your stories and sharing your experiences with the viewers. I certainly appreciate it. You guys at home, thank you for watching Let's Talk on Huda TV. Until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the dips are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and